5 on your side at 10 starts now.
Showers are moving out right now. When the clearing line moves in, add a look at your weekend forecast.
Taking a collective bite out of crime.
A lot of our, crime knows no boundaries.
Dozens of arrests, stolen cars, and guns recovered, all in a 12-hour span. Our top story, an alleged kidnapper allowed to take a child from school.
Your child is supposed to be safe at school.
Tonight, the victim's parents are demanding answers.
At the end of the day, they failed my daughter.
Court documents reveal the suspect walked into Cross Keys Middle School in Florissant and convinced school officials to take the young girl off campus. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. Hours later, police arrested James Paulette and found the victim. Tonight, the girl's furious parents are talking only to 5 on your side's Robert Townsend. Robert?
Mike and Kelly, Wendy and Jermaine Thomas say right now they are riding an emotional roller coaster. The couple says they cannot believe a stranger took their 8th grader from her school. Tears stream down Wendy Thomas's face when she thinks about what happened to her 13-year-old daughter at Cross Keys Middle School in Florissant.
I'm still in a nervous wreck. Like, I'm trying to hold it together. It's very emotional. It's scary not knowing where your daughter is.
The girl's father also overcome with a flurry of emotions.
An innocent 13-year-old child is sickening.
The parents say around 7:30 Tuesday morning, James Paulette,
Complete stranger,
walked into the office at Cross Keys Middle and checked out their daughter.
I just can't believe that he had the audacity to say that he knew me, he was a friend of mine. He went into school crying.
He came into the school, gave a sob story, and said that there's been a death in our family and that he was here to come get my daughter.
Police say surveillance cameras caught Paulette on video leaving the school with the girl. Wendy Thomas says she learned about it only after a counselor from her other child's high school called and told her.
I'm beyond angry and I'm frustrated and I'm mad. I can't even describe the feeling that I have.
About 6 hours later, police used surveillance video to identify Paulette's car and license plate, which they matched with court citations that led them to his North County home. There, they arrested him and found the girl.
She came out, thank God. He took her to the house and he gave her a drink.
Prosecutors charged Paulette with child kidnapping. The Ferguson-Florissant School District released a statement and said, in part, "We are actively investigating this matter and will take the necessary steps to ensure the appropriate level of accountability and support."
They didn't follow the steps that they supposed to have followed. They failed my daughter.
Now, the parents tell us their daughter returned to school today. Paulette is now in jail on a $500,000 bond.
Turning now to the weather impact forecast. The latest round of showers and storms are moving out of the area overnight. We got some much needed rain, but Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is tracking some more dry days ahead, and this was not a drought buster, was it, Scott?
No, for most of us, the rainfall amounts generally less than a half an inch. There were spots where you saw more than an inch and a few places with 3 to 5 inches of rainfall, but you can see that heavier rain's down to our south right now. There's just a thin little strip of rain around St. Louis. Now, we're going to get in with the actual Doppler radar from St. Louis, and we didn't tune it down tonight to get rid of the ground clutter. The reason why is what you're seeing here with some of the yellow, some of these areas down 44 and up 55 here right into town. Some of that is actually some light rain that's falling. But what you're seeing back to the north and west, we're thinking most of that is actually bird activity kind of following in right behind this band of rain. The winds have turned to the north, the birds are migrating, and they are pressing through the area now, and we're seeing that on the radar screen. Showers are going to get out of here. That's not going to amount to much what's left out there tonight, maybe another 1/100 of an inch. Lambert only coming in with 1/100 of an inch all day long. We're in the 60s tomorrow. It'll be a brighter start and a brighter day ahead. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay, Scott. A man could be heard screaming as he was trapped under a car and dragged down a downtown street. And tonight, a Tennessee man is being held without bond, charged in that horrific hit-and-run crash. According to court documents, Corey Aoni of Nashville was heavily intoxicated when he left a party at Ballpark Village Monday night. Police say surveillance video shows his car hitting a man at 4th and Choteau and then dragging him about a block. Iono's car was found in a nearby gas station the next day, and he was arrested. The victim was taken to the hospital with serious injuries.
New information tonight about a St. Louis alderwoman's claim her truck was hit by gunfire while she was driving through North City.
Heard a loud pop and knew immediately that this was a shot. And I was like, am I shot? You know, I'm feeling, you know, my shoulders and my torso to see if I'm hit.
That's what Alderwoman Laura Keyes told us earlier tonight. This happened just before noon yesterday on Fair Avenue. SLMPD now says there wasn't any gunfire. Within the last 90 minutes, police released surveillance footage showing the loud noise was actually Keyes' pickup hitting another parked truck, causing damage to a side mirror. You can see what happened there. Police believe Keyes genuinely thought it was a gunshot, saying it's a, quote, unfortunate reality that far too many St. Louisans experience that we work each day to reduce. Within the last hour, we got in touch with Keyes, who says she is relieved police were able to determine exactly what happened. She says the impact was so loud, she thought it was the sound of a .45 caliber weapon. Keyes says she's grateful someone had surveillance video that captured the incident.
Tonight, a man, Fairview Heights police say intentionally crashed into a squad cars behind bars and happened during a traffic stop this morning on Old Collinsville Road. According to investigators, the man admitted to consuming alcohol and weed gummies. He also told them he did it on purpose because he doesn't like police officers. No one was hurt. Illinois State Police are now investigating.
Getting criminals off the street. Tonight, a newly expanded law enforcement task force in St. Charles and St. Louis counties is touting their first major joint operation.
New at 10, 5 on your side's Laura Barcheski talked with 2 police chiefs who are calling it a success. Laura.
Mike and Kelly, in just 12 hours, the Gateway Regional Criminal Interdiction Task Force made more than 40 arrests and recovered stolen cars and firearms. They say this is only the beginning.
Last week, more than 140 officers from 20 different law enforcement agencies in St. Charles and St. Louis counties participated in a major enforcement operation over 2 days.
There's a briefing before, and we deploy officers to certain areas along the highways, subdivisions, business districts, where there have been problems or we anticipate there's going to be problems.
St. Charles County Police Chief Kurt Frizz says the Gateway Regional Criminal Interdiction Task Force was expanded with Governor Mike Kehoe's crime plan aimed at addressing crime together as a region.
But a lot of our crime knows no boundaries. So between the east-west flow from St. Charles County and St. Louis County and vice versa, we find it goes back and forth.
During task force operations, the different departments follow the same enforcement guidelines. They're able to use every tool available to them, including canines and air support. They handled 11 drug offenses, recovered 5 stolen vehicles and 9 firearms.
Those are weapons that will not be used in a crime. Those are drugs that will not get distributed to our community. So I think that's the win. They made 49 arrests, cleared up 75 active warrants. Many of those were felonies.
Lake St. Louis Police Chief Chris DiGiuseppe says none of this would be possible without being able to bring charges.
Our prosecuting attorneys, both in St. Charles County and St. Louis County, are actually part of the task force and support it. We've seen a lot of cooperation there.
Chief DiGiuseppe says as a task force, they also want to work with the courts and the legislature during the upcoming session to address juvenile crime.
The system's not working, because obviously when we have 2 carjackings in 48 hours, or we have juveniles that are caught, released, go back out, continue to commit that crime over and over again, it's not helping the community and it's not helping the kid.
Chief Frizz says as they continue to see success, they hope to expand the task force further to include the city of St. Louis.
A heated court hearing today where the St. Louis sheriff and the city faced off ended with no decision. Sheriff Alfred Montgomery is suing the city in an attempt to block an order requiring him to transport detainees to medical appointments. The city says it's the duty of the sheriff's office. His attorney argues they don't have the staffing. Several witnesses testified, including his political opponent Vernon Betts. It's not clear when a result in this case will come down.
Tonight, a father is sharing a warning with parents after he lost his 8-year-old son in a terrible accident. 8-year-old Cortez Williams Jr., known as CJ, was playing in his mother's backyard on Sunday when a swing set collapsed on top of him. At the time, CJ showed no signs of serious injury. An hour later, his family found him unresponsive. They rushed him to the hospital where he died.
I don't want nobody to have to go through this. It's hard. I'm trying my best but it's hard. This pain that'll never go away, and now I gotta bury my 8-year-old.
CJ would have turned 9 next month. The Williams family is still waiting on autopsy results for the cause of his death.
Tonight, some St. Louis aldermen and women came together for a joint infrastructure town hall. The 1st, 3rd, and 7th wards were at the 5-Star Center answering questions. Topics included rising utility rates, city recycling changes, and the city data center debate. We told you last night a hearing for a proposed data center in the vacant Armory building was delayed.
Those are the things that matter to the people I represent, and I want to make sure that those questions are answered and that any data center that comes in, and there are some already operating in the city of St. Louis, but any that come in the future have to follow these regulations.
The hearing delay gives the developer time to be in line with measures put in place by the executive order from the mayor's office.
Tonight, a downtown St. Louis business targeted by thieves several times since it opened is getting support from the community. We told you last week, Buddy's Wine Bar was broken into twice in the same week. It was all caught on camera as a vandal broke a window one day, then on another day, a thief stole $1,500 worth of product. And that's not the first time the business was hit. Tonight, the business held a painting party to spruce up the board, covering up the broken window. Buddy's remains open and no suspects have been arrested. A Franklin County family's oasis ruined by a hidden neighbor.
We got arsenic, we got lead, PFAS, so there's no telling what's dumped in there.
They've uncovered a toxic dumping ground. Now they're buried in red tape. Ferguson firefighters answer the call, the emergency at their doorstep.
There are more birds migrating south on the radar than there are rain showers tonight. The northerly winds driving that comfortable air into the area as we head toward the weekend. We're tracking any changes coming to our region next week.
A Ferguson firehouse is boarded up tonight. As you can see, a car crashed right through a cinder block wall at Station 2 today. Firefighters were inside at the time and worked quickly to help the driver, who was taken to the hospital. No firefighters were hurt. Besides the wall, a fire engine was also damaged. The department says, though, there's no interruption in service. The cause of the crash is under investigation. 20 acres in Franklin County was supposed to be the perfect place to start a farm and raise a family. But a silent neighbor turned into a nightmare.
New tonight, 5 on your side's Tracy Henson toured the land and shows us how one man is fighting for more than his property.
Raise some cows, garden, privacy, let the dogs run. Kids can play in the creek, but unfortunately can't do that now.
From here, Jim Roberts' property looks idyllic. But a short trek into the woods uncovers a troublesome scene.
Yeah, they just call it a tributary to the Merrimack River.
But water isn't supposed to look like this.
At first, I thought it was just iron because the road right up the hill is called Iron Hill Road.
A closer look showed a sheen on top.
And that's when I contacted DNR.
And that's when Jim Roberts' American dream shattered.
This is on the other side of the railroad tracks here. And then right here is my fence line, so this is my property.
We're looking through over 200 pages of documents from the Missouri Department of Natural Resources.
They call out leachate going out the north outfall of a landfill, and that's when I was like, that's a picture of my property, and I was never notified. I had to find it through a sunshine request and figure it out on my own.
Uncovering an abandoned landfill next door and toxins seeping into his land.
And then we come down here to lead. We measured 67.1. Drinking water standard is 15.
Surely this would have to get fixed, and quickly.
I called DNR, I called EPA, and I pretty much contacted everybody. The Franklin County Commissioners, Josh Hawley's office, Brad Banderman. And here's on the landfill side.
His calls went something like this.
Hey, we know there's a landfill there. We're understaffed, we're underfunded, property's abandoned, there's nothing we can do for you.
I contacted the DNR too. The DNR confirmed their sampling, showing elevated levels of iron, copper, arsenic, all measuring above the accepted safety standard. The DNR said usually when contaminants are found, the department works with landowners to clean it up. But this case is different.
The original owner operated it and sold it to James Sycan Jr. And then he applied for the permit and he was denied. So then he operated the landfill for a couple years illegally. So there's no telling what's dumped in there.
Zycan had done it before in Wright City. The DNR says it's not uncommon, writing, abandoned landfills across Missouri have been a problem for decades. Addressing this is a priority for Governor Kehoe and the Department of Natural Resources.
Perfect creek for kids to be splashing around in, but
I asked Franklin County commissioners what, if anything, they can do about the site. Commissioner Dave Schatz wrote me back saying, "We've been in contact with DNR to determine what steps are necessary to properly close the landfill. There are no state funds set aside for these type of sites. DNR is the agency that has oversight of these sites." No action at the county or state level, so I contacted the EPA. Their response in part, the EPA does not have funding for addressing solid waste landfills. Those landfills are state responsibilities.
And it looks gooey, you know, like especially looking at that.
No money to fix a problem that continues to ooze onto Jim's land.
and we got arsenic, we got lead, PFAS, particularly PFOA and PFOS, which were deemed hazardous substances by the EPA last year, which are known to cause cancer.
Looking at the map, this might not only impact Jim's farm.
That creek that this is all dumping into runs 2 miles to the Merrimack River.
Winding its way from Franklin, St. Louis, and Jefferson counties before emptying into the Mississippi River. Tracy Hinson, 5 on your side.
In late July, Franklin County wrote the Department of Natural Resources asking for an estimate cost and process to fix the abandoned landfill. The DNR replied saying the county should hire engineers to assess the situation. Jim says the landfill has been a game of hot potato and no government agency wants to touch it.
What a mess. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell rejoins us now with the weather impact forecast. We got some rain, Scott, but it just wasn't enough.
You know, and today at Lambert, we ended up this evening picking up 1/100th of an inch of rain from this little batch of showers. 1/100th of an inch. That's not going to do much. And the drought monitor comes out tomorrow. It'll be updated this week. It takes into account what fell before 7 o'clock Tuesday. So none of the rain that fell, even though for most of us it wasn't all that heavy, even goes into this week's drought monitor. So some of us had a bit of improvement. There were 3 to 5 inches of rain in a few places. Most of us, though, saw a 1/2 inch or less. And tonight, what we're seeing is mostly south and east of St. Louis. There's still a little bit of rain in and around the airport right now. Again, 1/100th of an inch in the rain gauge officially at Lambert. It is 69 degrees with a cloudy sky, 78 and 67, the numbers that go in the book today. And unless we can get another 1/100th of an inch, I mean, in all honesty, it's not going to amount to a lot. So, you know, it's negligible in terms of really helping things out. Not as widespread as we would have liked. Temperatures will be in the 50s to around 60 early tomorrow morning. The showers that are out there right now, they're fading fast and moving away. We do expect to see plenty of sunshine tomorrow morning. And then about lunchtime, early afternoon, you'll have some patches of clouds drifting through. Winds are out of the north tomorrow. They could gust around 10, 15, maybe even 20 miles per hour early in the afternoon as we kind of mix the air a little bit. Mid to upper 70s for highs. You look at the next few days, our temperatures are trending up. Now keep in mind, average high temperature, upper 70s. We're talking mid 80s for the upcoming weekend. 83 degrees on Saturday. It is glorious all across the bi-state region, from Chicago down into the Ozarks, down to Cape Girardeau, up to St. Joe. Everybody gets a good dose of sunshine this weekend and comfortably warm temperatures. And we expect that to continue into next week. Just kind of giving you a bonus tonight of your 10-day forecast. Usually you get that on 5+, but tonight, because the next 10 days all appear dry in St. Louis, we kind of added that into the mix for you. And when we look at October, because next week, we actually begin the month of October, the odds for above average rainfall, they're not anywhere close to us. So probably not any relief from the drought. And when we look at temperatures, we're still finding our scenario playing out with above average temperatures. The Atlantic active here. We have Gabrielle, hurricane, could be in the Azores. We now have Umberto here in this area that's off the east out in the Atlantic. And then there could be some development as we head towards the Bahamas and areas near San Juan, Puerto Rico, between Puerto Rico and the Bahamas over the next couple of days. So there could be a couple of tropical systems that actually dance with each other out in the Atlantic, which is fairly rare that they're that close. We'll wait to see if Imelda forms, but that would be the next named storm.
All right. Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, we will tell you about the best coach in the region, give you the latest on the latest Blues injury, and check in on the Cardinals' playoff chances. Quit laughing, Mike. There's a chance. As the Cardinals were looking for the sweep at San Francisco tonight, there's another game they're checking on, the Mets and Cubs. If the Mets win another game, the Birds are eliminated. Chicago beat the Mets tonight 10-3, and the Pirates beating the Reds 4-3 helps also. Let's go to San Francisco. Brendan Donovan had 4 doubles last night. In the 3rd inning, he does it again off the wall. It scores Victor Scott, and it's 1-0 Cardinals. 3rd inning, don't understand this 3-0 pitch. Sonny Gray serves it up to Rafael Devers. We are tied at 2 in the 3rd. Somebody spending a lot of time in the water for a wet baseball. This led to the Giants' 3rd run when Jordan Walker just drops the Christian Koss fly ball. Right now it's 3-2 Giants in the 6th inning. Outgoing Cards president, baseball operations, John Mozeliak, is my guest Sunday night on Sports Plus. One topic we covered was the trade that brought pitcher Matthew Liberatore to St. Louis. While he's still trying to establish himself in the majors, the man the Cardinals dealt away, outfielder Randy Arozarena, has been a postseason MVP. Mo remains philosophical about the deal.
I think in the end, Cardinals will be happy with having Matthew Liberatore, but I think we all recall some of Randy's exploits in the postseason were pretty painful to watch at times. So it's hard to get these right. And like what I tell people a lot, like if you're not making mistakes, it's probably because you're not trying enough. And so we do make mistakes.
If you're not bullish on the Blues, then I recommend Tony Robbins. Everything is trending up. The young Bucks, the stars in their primes, and Jordan Binnington knows he has to be great to make the Olympic team. The only thing that could hurt is an injury. Jimmy Snuggerud is one of those young Bucks brimming with talent. He's just 21, but today he was injured at practice. Our cameras were not rolling at the time, but the coach played Marcus Welby for us after practice.
He's fine. Anything serious has been eliminated, and he's day to day right now. So, like, think of it as getting, bad car accident, hit from behind, something like that, because he went in hard to the boards.
How about this amazing stat? The 2025 NCAA Men's Frozen Four delivered $20.5 million in economic impact for our town. More than 80% of the fans came from out of town. The study was conducted by Patrick Rich from WashU. Congrats to the Sports Commission and the Blues for another wonderful event. Finally tonight, a word about the most successful coach in the region, Eli Drinkwitz. On Saturday night after the UMass game, he will be 5-0. It will be 26 wins in their last 31 games. That's top 5 in the country. This is Mizzou, not Michigan. And I want to take you back to 2019 when Mizzou got Coach Drink. The heroes in the saga are the Mizzou Board of Curators, led by John Sunvold. The athletic director at the time, Jim Sturk, wanted to hire a guy named Blake Anderson, who was at Arkansas State and later got fired at Utah State. The board said, no, you're not doing that, Jim. And they eventually agreed on Eli, who went 12-1 at Appalachian State. He looks like a math teacher, and he has been coolly calculating, motivating Mizzou's boosters, luring tantalizing talent, selling out stadiums, and giving the media insightful sound bites. He's the whole package. Folks, have you seen that schedule Mizzou will have to play in the coming years? It's daunting, but we have Eli Drinkwitz. And to paraphrase Jack Nicholson in the movie, A Few Good Men, you want me on that sideline. You need me on that sideline. And that's, frankly speaking, for tonight.
4 days only. Receive a free gift with select mattress purchase. Plus, get 0% interest for 72 months on top bedding brands. Friday through Monday only at Ashley.
It could be harder to find an extra job this holiday season. A new industry report shows retailers are projected to add fewer than 500,000 positions over the final 3 months of the year.
That's the smallest seasonal gain since the recession in 2009. Experts blame the hiring halt on tariffs, inflation, and automation. candy prices may scare you this Halloween. Supply chain experts blame a bad cocoa crop in Africa, which produces 70% of the world's cocoa. Hershey says it's holding off until after October 31st to raise prices, but a spike could happen just in time for Christmas.
And you might want to think twice about bringing fall decor into your home. Allergists say pumpkin gourds and corn stalks can be full of mold, and we're already seeing high levels of that allergen. It's suggested keeping those decorations on your porch or yard.
And Scott has one final check of our weather impact forecast.
Yeah, and just in case you were wondering, the mold count was very high today, over 70,000. Don't see any reason why that's going to go down at this point in time. Next few days, well, the rain showers that we have out there right now, they've been very scattered, they've been very light, and they are moving out. So they will be gone. And tomorrow's a brighter day. The weekend's glorious. It's a great recreational forecast, or if you're doing some construction working outside.
Like you.
Yeah, well, you know, our roofers.
Building that
we
retaining
have
wall.
so many roofers that
Do
are
you need
working.
some help with that? I'll come over with my tool belt and stuff.
Oh, I bet you would.
Yeah, you
That
don't
would
want
be a
that.
sight.
You do not want that. There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis. That starts at 5 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.